Hey, Sagittarius. Welcome to your weekly forecast for July 5th through the 11th. This is for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We do have a new moon happening on the 9th, so there is that energy coming in. It's a new moon in Cancer, so emotions might be running a little high. We might be kind of focused on our interactions and dealings with others, our relationships, whether it be romantic, business, family, friendship. So we're going to connect here and see what's coming up for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising in the week ahead, and in the new moon energy that's coming in, like through this moon cycle. So without further ado, my darlings, let's get right on into it. First card coming up here is the Wheel. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. Okay. This is a major arcana card. Alright, sorry guys. This is driving me nuts here. I just realized I had a candle go out. I gotta replace the candle. Bear with me. Bear with me. It has to be just right. It has to be just so. So the Wheel card is a major arcana card. Major arcana cards are going to come up when we're at a significant crossroads. We're coming into a new chapter. We're coming into a new beginning. Something directly connected to something we came here to master, something we came here to accomplish. So the Wheel a lot of the times is about movement or getting unstuck, right? It's time for this new chapter, time to get going, time to get moving. A lot of the times it'll come up when we're getting unblocked. Unblocked in something that we've been blocked a long time. Now, because this is the new moon, and a lot of people try to manifest around the new moon, some of you may be manifesting something having to do with more kind of independent income, maybe not like a traditional 9 to 5. So maybe you're trying to get some kind of business going or self-employment, or maybe you're trying to get into like the gig economy while you try to build something for yourself on the side. The Wheel card sometimes comes in with the message around finances, that when it comes to business, a lot of people are like, well, I don't know if I can leave my job until my business is making a certain amount of money or I have a certain amount of clients. We want to be sure that we have consistent income coming in. But the thing about any kind of self-employment or any kind of gig economy work or even independent contract kind of work, it's not like a 9 to 5 where guaranteed every single week how much you're going to make and how much you're going to make in that month, down to the penny. You can't really predict that when you're self-employed or when you're doing something in terms of like gig or commissions or sales, right? You can't always predict it because it will vary, right? You might have a rough estimate, but it's going to vary. But the Wheel card basically says we need the cycles. We need the busy times, but we need the slow times too. The slow times in itself is a blessing because it gives us a chance to recuperate, to recover. And if we are wise with the money that comes in during the busy time, when the slow time comes, we can enjoy some of that money and we can rest and we can take a breather. So the Wheel card for me sometimes comes up with the message of coming into the flow, right? Like when the money's coming in, we're not burning through it. We're not spending it like crazy as if it's always going to be coming in this way. We're going to be wise with it, right? That way when the slow time comes, we can enjoy having some time to rest. So some of you might be coming into the flow here and breaking out of an energy or maybe even an inherited energy that has been passed down through your family of feast or famine, right? Like when things are good, they're really good, but when they're bad, they're really bad. And some of you are coming into the flow and managing that without necessarily having to hustle to the extent to where you don't have any break at all. You're just go, go, go all the time. You can't be that way. You can't live life that way. You need the slow times. And as I said, a wheel card can be getting unstuck, moving forward. 10 is some old cycle is done, it's complete. Green light here to move forward. I do feel there might be something coming up here where some of you are doing, and this is so very specific, I can honestly say you guys are towards the end of the 12 signs that I'm reading for, and you guys are the first ones getting this message. I feel some of you Sagittarius have been doing a lot of work around trying to remember past lives, or like specifically past life regression. And because of the intensity of the new moon in Cancer, this is going to feel like a full moon for a lot of people in terms of emotions and release. So I feel some of you are unblocking things from past lives, and you may even be having little glimpses or little memories into past lives. This could be coming up for some of you. Also here, with the wheel card coming in, this could be that some of you are feeling like you've done all that you can do for a situation or for a person, and you're wanting to move forward. And for some of you, you may even be recalling past lives that you've had with that person. And you're like, okay, wow, all right, it's time to move forward. I feel something here around past lives and past life memories coming up for some of you Sagittarius. Okay, the next card coming in for you guys, Saggies. Ooh, it's you. Welcome to your reading, Sagittarius. Queen of Wands. This is that beautiful fire energy. Okay, it can be a Leo, it can be an Aries, it can be Sagittarius. This could be another fire sign coming into the situation for some of you, because this is going to be a moon that is bringing in attention to relationships and situations. Now, the poor Queen of Wands, the poor Queen of Wands, she gets typecast because a lot of people are used to watching tarot readings for love and romance, and there's certain cards that have gotten like a certain reputation that when it comes up, people just automatically label it as, oh, this is what this card means, and it's a bad card, right? So sometimes the Queen of Wands gets labeled as like a fling, right? Like a fling or an affair or a mistress or the other woman. Okay, maybe some of you are breaking out of some kind of cycle here with the Queen of Wands coming up next to the wheel, where you're done with that. You're like, look, I'm not going to be a fling, or I'm not going to be the temptress or the person on the side, or I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm going to have more committed relationships. So some of you might be breaking out of that kind of cycle and gravitating towards something more committed, or just independence in general. Maybe you're just deciding to take time and work on yourself, because this is the part of the Queen of Wands that I absolutely adore, but unfortunately it gets lost. It gets lost with this typecast, just very cookie cutter, way that people sometimes interpret the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is so much more than that. She can mean so many different things in a reading. And the Queen of Wands, typically for me, when she comes up in a reading, you've had enough. You're frustrated. Like you're finally coming into a healthy confidence, and you're realizing what you bring to the table. Like you definitely know your worth. Typically when Queen of Wands comes up for me in a reading, you're the kind of person that other people really benefit from. Like in a work situation, you probably make a lot of money for your bosses, your supervisors, your employers, right? And you might try to speak up, you might try to advance, and you might get kind of treated like, okay, well, you know what, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just keep doing what you're doing. Don't complain. Be happy with where you're at. You just keep churning out that gold for us, and you just do as we say and sit there in the corner and keep bringing in that money, right? So Queen of Wands gets fed up, and she realizes she's the Queen of Wands, and she's like, you know what? And I'm saying she, but this can apply to you if you're a he as well. But Queen of Wands gets to the energy where she's like, I know what I bring to the table, and I'm sick and tired of other people benefiting from my gifts and my talents, and it's time for me to use those gifts and talents to benefit myself, right? Or to go somewhere where I'm gonna be fairly compensated for what I'm bringing to the table. So she takes this anger and this frustration, and she, pours it into, she channels it into creating change and specifically advancement in her life. And because she has this anger and she's so driven, this advancement, big advancement, happens in a very short period of time. So a lot of you are coming into the energy of like, you want that upgrade and you're not settling for less. Okay, and this can be in terms of business, this can be in terms of how you're being treated within friendships or partnerships or with a significant other. You're like, you know that you deserve more and you're not going to accept less than that. In terms of characteristics, qualities, personality traits, Queen of Wands is somebody who is very Lexi. It starts with the letter S, but I'm not allowed to say it. Rhymes with Lexi. And somebody who is very funny. Maybe you didn't know this. Queen of Wands is very funny. Okay. Life of the party. Very ambitious, very driven, very independent. Quick thinker. And so a lot of you are coming into this energy, or you're manifesting having these kinds of people in your life. A little bit more confidence, a little bit more independence, a little bit more fun. Okay, some of you are manifesting this kind of energy and stepping into this kind of energy. Okay, the black cat in this card is really jumping out at me, and so is the color yellow. Yellow is associated, yellow and orange are associated with Archangel Uriel, okay? And you do have orange coming up in here too. There's orange in this card. So I do feel like, and I'm not saying black cats are bad luck, but sometimes people sadly will say, oh, black cat is bad luck, right? Uriel is like overcoming obstacles. So Uriel is an archangel that helps shine light on our gifts and talents, helps us with creative solutions, helps us overcome challenges and obstacles quickly, almost seemingly effortlessly. So I do feel there's some situation, Sagittarius, that has been feeling like bad luck to you. Like, oh my gosh, I have the worst luck. And it's felt like a setback for you. But Spirit is giving me a sense or a feeling of like the arrow in the bow. You know how the arrow is pulled back, and then once it's released, that arrow flies very far. That's the energy I'm getting here. Something that you have been feeling as a setback is actually going to propel you forward very quickly. Like in a very short period of time, you're going to advance very quickly on where you're aiming or where you're focusing. Okay? I do feel that there's a lot of independent, ambitious energy. So some of you Sagittarius here might be feeling a desire for independence. You might be feeling a little bit ambitious. You might be feeling a little bit driven. And some of you might be getting downright angry or frustrated with the lack of a sense of, independence or support. And you're going to be able to use the anger positively to drive you towards this change. The next card that's coming in for our dear Sagittarius friends is the Four of Cups. Now, poor Four of Cups can be seen as like, you're being negative. You're not being happy with what you're being given. You need to have more of an open mind. And that can definitely positively be one of the meanings of the Four of Cups. But with the cards we have it coming in here, and those of you that watch my readings, you may have heard me say this before about the Four of Cups in the past. Four of Cups makes me think of what Rumi wrote about when he talked about divine discontentment. Okay, Rumi wrote these beautiful love poems, but they were love poems to God. They were love poems to, universe, to God, to higher being. And so he wrote about divine discontentment. And divine discontentment is when we have this moment when we realize, we have an awakening. We realize that we're a child of God. We're a child of the universe, and we're equal to everybody else. And we start looking around and we're like, well, this person has this, and that person has that. right? And I'm here working my booty off, right? And I'm just as deserving as anybody else. So how come, they have it and I don't have it? Now, this is different from jealousy. Jealousy or envy is like, well, I don't have it, so I don't want anybody else to have it. We don't want to be in that mindset. When we think that way, we block ourselves. Divine discontentment is like, well, they have it. There's no reason why I shouldn't have it too. I'm just as worthy, I'm just as deserving. So divine discontentment comes in when we start to raise the bar, right? We're constantly manifesting. And a lot of you Sagittarius, what you have in your life right now, you manifested. And I make an attempt when I do the readings to reach out to people who are on a path of evolving out of lower energy, healing, breaking out of generational curses. It's really important to me on a personal level that I can put something out there in the videos to help people that are in this kind of path, okay? Because a lot of the times when people are on that kind of path and they're new in their journey, they're going to be blocked, and they're even going to be blocked financially, and they might not be in a situation where they can go book a private reading. So I really want to be sure that in the YouTube videos and the videos that I'm putting out for free, there's going to be things that are going to help people who are on this journey. And so a lot of you have been crawling out of a very deep pit, like a very deep hole, and you have some stability in your life right now, and you don't realize, you don't remember that once upon a time this was but a dream for you. Like you were like, I can't wait until one day I have a partner, or I can't wait until one day that I move into my own place, or I can't wait until one day I can find a job and work a job where I'm getting paid, and I can, work towards my goals or work towards getting my place or whatever it might be. But you manifested it, but you manifested from a time in which you had the bar very low. Four of Cups is when we start to realize that we deserve to raise the bar. We deserve to ask for more. This is actually a very positive thing for you to be realizing right now, because the planetary shifts right now have been increasing our manifestation power, plus we're coming into a new moon period, which even increases manifestation even more. So this is a good time to manifest, and it's a good time to wake up and realize, hey, you know what? I need to raise the bar. And I've given this example before. It's like saying, oh my gosh, I cannot wait until I find a partner who doesn't cheat on me and who doesn't spend all my money and who isn't using me financially and isn't toxic or abusive. That's bare minimum. Bare minimum. Right? That's like, right? Don't even get me started. Or saying, I can't wait till I find a job where it's not an abusive work environment, where I'm not getting screamed or yelled at, and where I get paid consistently. They don't forget to pay me. My paychecks don't bounce. There's money in the company account. I don't have to check and make sure they didn't shortchange me or they didn't play around with my hours, right? I actually get paid what I'm supposed to get paid. If you're working a job and they're treating you like crap and they're not paying you, that's not a job. That's slavery. Okay? So again, that would be bare minimum, right? Four of Cups is when we realize we deserve more. We deserve more. Okay? If I walk down the street and I manage to keep my hands to myself and not vandalize cars and not punch people in the face as I'm walking down the street, the police aren't going to come to my house and say, Amethyst, we appreciate so much the fact that every day when you go walking, you don't bother anybody. You don't damage anybody's property. You don't take anything from anyone. You don't pick fights. You don't hit people. They're not going to give me an award for that. They're not going to show up and say, we're going to have a parade in your honor. Or, we're going to give you a gift card for $500. That's not going to happen, because that is the bare minimum expected of me. That is the very least that I can do as somebody who's being a good citizen. Okay, so this is about raising the bar. Everything you have, you manifested, and you manifested a lot of this during a time when it seemed so impossible for you, so out of reach that it was like a dream come true. And now that you're here, you're like, wait a minute, yeah, okay, I'm grateful that I have it, I'm glad that I have it, it's better than not having it, but I deserve a lot more than this. And so you're manifesting the spice, the flavor, the bells and whistles, so to speak. You're raising the bar here. Okay, this is a really good time to have this realization, because we can really tap into powerful manifesting energy right now. Your next card here is the Two of Swords. Now, the Two of Swords can sometimes come up because we'll have a realization. We realize the situation isn't that great for us. We realize we need to move forward. We realize it's time for change. But there could be a little bit of a fear that takes over, and then we're afraid to take action. And we start telling ourselves, maybe if I wait a little bit longer, it'll get better. Maybe it'll change, right? Let me give it a little bit more time. And we come into the energy of inaction. We don't take steps because we're scared to take steps, and we're kind of like an ostrich with our head in the sand, where we're like, well, maybe if I don't pay attention to it, it'll go away. It'll fix itself. It'll get better, right? That's not how it works. And some of you have heard me say this. The Two of Swords for me, when it comes up in a reading, I take it very seriously, because over the years reading, what I've seen is Spirit, for me, in my readings, gives me the Two of Swords to say, look, we're like giving you the writing on the wall. We're telling you what to do, and you're ignoring it. You're ignoring the signs. You're ignoring the writing on the wall. We're telling you it's time to get moving. You're procrastinating. You're dragging your feet. And we got to keep you on schedule. And we got to make sure that you don't, suffer unnecessarily longer than you need to. And so if you don't take the action, we're going to have to come in with a tower moment. Okay? That's what the Two of Swords means for me. And I know a lot of the times when I say this, people get angry and they get upset and they start flipping out in the comments. It's not my desire to upset anybody. Keep in mind, when we get tower moments, the tower moments are happening because Spirit is trying to keep us from falling behind, from suffering unnecessarily in a situation that's not good for us. The tower moments don't come in to punish us. They come in to liberate us, to free us, and to keep us moving in the right direction. And even though it's a good thing for us, it might be better to take the steps ourselves instead of getting pushed off the diving board, so to speak, because that can be a bit of a rude awakening. That might not feel so great. But if we go at our own speed, if we take the steps ourselves, then it's not as scary. The change is going to happen regardless, okay? We're going to have to let go and move in a new direction. So we may as well start planning. We may as well start taking the steps so that we can feel that we have control over the process, instead of the universe coming in and having to move things around for us, okay? Now, you might want to check out your moon sign and rising sign videos. Some weeks your moon sign and rising sign videos might resonate for you more than your sun sign, or it might bring in a little extra information. Some of you might want to check out the love videos that I did for June and July. Those are linked in the description. If you would like a private reading with me, guys, please be very careful. It's been brought to my attention, unfortunately, somebody is going around and pretending that they're me and emailing people or commenting and trying to get people to send them money for readings. I don't do that. I will never reach out to somebody and say, oh, you need to book a reading with me. I have to tell you something. Book a reading with me right now. Send me money and I'll get you in. I don't do that. Because if you want a reading from me, you're going to come to me and you're going to ask me for a reading. I'm not going to pressure people. I'm not going to chase after people. I'm not going to convince people that they need to get a reading. I'm not going to do that, right? Whoever wants a reading, they're going to come to me when they're ready to come to me. I don't have any mass emailing list. I don't email people announcements. I'm not set up to do anything like that. So be very cautious. Any communication like that, it's not coming from me. If you want a private reading with me, the only way to get a private reading with me is to go to calendly.com/amethystangelite and schedule a private reading with me there. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. Bye, Sagittarius. Have a wonderful week, my dears.